And if we have Osama bin Laden in our sights and the Pakistani government is unable or unwilling to take them out, then I think that we have to act, and we will take them out. We will kill bin Laden. We will crush al-Qaeda. That has to be our biggest national security priority.
Did you hear that? If they are unable or not willing, we're going to go ahead and do it. John McCain hammered the freshman senator from Illinois making that statement. Take a look at this.
You know, my hero is a guy named Teddy Roosevelt. Teddy Roosevelt used to say, walk softly, talk softly, but carry a big stick. Senator Obama likes to talk loudly. In fact, he said he wants to announce that he's going to attack Pakistan. Remarkable. Senator Obama, by saying that he would attack Pakistan, look at the context of his words. I'll get Osama bin Laden, my friends. I'll get him. I know how to get him. I'll get him no matter what. And I know how to do it. But I'm not going to telegraph my punches.
Thank God America picked the guy who actually got bin Laden. The Republicans have never given President Obama any credit for keeping this country safe. McCain's running mate has been, of course, spreading garbage like this for the last couple of years.
As the USS Cole was attacked, our embassies were attacked, it was treated like an international crime spree, not like an act of war. We're seeing that mindset again settle into Washington. That scares me for my children, for your children. Treating this like a mere law enforcement matter places our country at grave risk. Because that's not how radical Islamic extremists are looking at this. They know we're at war. And to win that war, we need a commander-in-chief, not a professor of law standing at the lectern.
Not a professor of law. We need a commander-in-chief. So, Sarah Palin, how's this commander-in-chief doing now? Palin's just been a small part of the smear job on President Obama's national security credentials. The lead attack dog has been former Vice President Dick Cheney.
Campaigned against it all across the country, and now he's making some choices that, in my mind, will in fact raise the risk to the American people of another attack.
Raise the risk. Always fear-mongering. Now that President Obama has accomplished something Cheney and Bush could never pull off, the former vice president, well, today, I guess you could say to his credit, he's singing a different tune.
We need to look at it as a great victory for the American military and intelligence personnel and for the American people. A lot of bravery and courage displayed by those folks on the behalf of all of us. It's also a good day for the administration. I think President Obama and his national security team acted on the intelligence when it came in, and they deserve a lot of credit too.
Acted on the intelligence deserves a lot of credit. Now, Dick Cheney was saying in early 2009 that President Obama was apologizing for America, that he didn't understand the war on terror, that he didn't have this country on a war footing. My, how things have changed. It's so interesting, isn't it? You know, President Obama has been knocked by the conservatives for not understanding American exceptionalism. Well, let's play a little soundbite about American exceptionalism that we picked out from last night. Here it is. Cheney isn't the only member of the Bush administration chiming in. This is how Rummy put it. All of this was made possible by the relentless, sustained pressure on al-Qaeda, and that the Bush administration initiated after 9/11, and that the Obama administration has wisely chosen to continue. Really? Now we got to give Bush all kinds of credit. Bush had his time to do it. This is not about George W. Bush. This is about President Obama, because he is the one, undoubtedly, that has had to make the decision as to whether we're going to bomb, whether we're going to work with the Pakistanis, whether we're going to do a clandestine operation, or whether we're going to send in the SEALs. That was President Obama's call. You know what? The way the political climate is in this country, it's a damn good thing this whole thing worked. Because if this hadn't worked, can you imagine what the right wing would be saying now? If this hadn't have worked, what do you think Mr. Cheney would be saying? And I don't think that President Bush would have put out any kind of a message. You know, I was really captivated by some of the things that were happening in Times Square. This was pretty interesting. Well, the president was talking about coming together, which I think the people really did. Here he is last night talking about that.
The cause of securing our country is not complete, but tonight we are once again reminded that America can do whatever we set our mind to. That is the story of our history. Whether it's the pursuit of prosperity for our people or the struggle for equality for all our citizens, our commitment to stand up for our values abroad, and our sacrifices to make the world a safer place. Let us remember that we can do these things not just because of wealth or power, but because of who we are. One nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Republicans are doing everything they can to save Bush's legacy. Newt Gingrich spun it like this. I commend both President George W. Bush, who led the campaign against our enemies through 7 long years, and President Obama, who continued and intensified the campaign in both Afghanistan and Pakistan. Reverend Mike Huckabee, he didn't give President Obama any credit at all, but he did offer this greeting for Osama bin Laden. It has taken a long time for this monster to be brought to justice. Welcome to hell, Mr. bin Laden. National security should be off the table in 2012 because this is about American exceptionalism, is it not? Have we not seen American exceptionalism? I think we have. Let's go to this soundbite about that.
On September 11th, 2001, in our time of grief, the American people came together. We offered our neighbors a hand, and we offered the wounded our blood. We reaffirmed our ties to each other and our love of community and country. On that day, no matter where we came from, what God we prayed to, or what race or ethnicity we were united as one American family.
Coming up, top advisors were telling President Obama to drop bombs on the bin Laden compound. Instead, the president called for the Navy SEAL operation that led to al-Qaeda leader's death. And as we have seen, some Republicans have not kept politics out of this. So we'll dig into it with Professor Michael Eric Dyson and Colonel Lawrence Wilkerson. Stay